Now,
Yes.
once you are in the Air Force Academy, tell us how is that experience and how was the experience when you received your uniform for the first time? Because that is an experience that, a lot of candidates want to have. It literally gives you goosebumps of wearing that uniform. Walk
Yes.
us through that experience.
I can't tell you, Gaurav, I get very emotional with that. Initially, we are supposed to wear the white uniform
Hmm.
and like white shirt and white trousers and black shoes. And we are eagerly waiting for our blue uniform. Blue uniform, that is all everybody's mind. And we are given a lot of ragda, we are given a lot of toughening exercises, before you get that uniform. So basically, it is said that it is not uniform. We are not giving you this uniform. You have to earn this
Earn.
uniform.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Speak with GRV. I'm your host for the show, Gaurav Singh. I started this channel on YouTube with an intention that I will bring people who are making an impact through their work. And if this inspires even one person and he or she goes on to make big in his or her life, my job would be done. I'm really fortunate that I have been able to interview 6 such people till now. And today we'll have the 7th guest. So, who's the guest on the show today? So today we have on the show ex-Indian Air Force officer, Squadron Leader Dipti Kala. Ma'am had a distinguished career of 10 plus years with Indian Air Force. She was among the fortunate few who were part of the Republic Day Parade. Ma'am has also received commendation from Chief of Indian Air Force. During her stint at Indian Air Force, she was also awarded with the Best All-Rounder Award. She comes from an athletic background and has been a national level cricketer. She was also a finalist in Miss India Popular 2018. She has also been a 2 times TEDx speaker. She is the youngest defense expert with 7 news channels. And she is also India's first certified dream coach and helping a lot of people achieve their dreams. Well, that was a long list of achievements, and we are going to cover even more during the course of this interview. So here we have Speak with GRV in conversation with Squadron Leader Dipti Kala.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Speak with GRV. Well, today we have a special guest with us. We have Squadron Leader Dipti Kala ma'am. Ma'am has served with Indian Air Force for more than 10 plus years. And after that, she decided to become India's first dream coach, which seems exciting, and we'll come to that part. And right now, she's also helping a lot of people achieve their dreams. So, how did she get into Indian Air Force? How was life at Indian Air Force? And what was the turning point where she decided that she wants to become India's first dream coach? We are going to talk about all these things during this course of interview. We'll also see her opinions on the current topics that are going on. And then at the end, some lighter questions to her lighter side of personality. So to begin with, thank you, ma'am. Thank you for coming. And my first question would be, how are you? How are you doing today?
Yeah, thank you so much, Gaurav, for having me. And I'm doing absolutely great. And how are you doing?
I'm doing absolutely fine because this is something I like doing apart from work. So always a pleasure
Absolutely.
doing. So, ma'am, my first
Great.
question would be, tell us about your growing up days, your schooling, your family background.
Okay. So I would talk more about the family background and all because the schooling and the major part of it would be covered in my TEDx talk, which will be out very soon. So, Gaurav, I belong to a defense background. My father was in the army, and my mom is a home designer. So, she takes care of the home and she took care of us. She left her own job when I was very young, maybe 2 to 3 years old. She was a teacher, but then she left her job just to ensure that we get good care at home, me and my brother. I have one younger brother. However, though my father was in the army, however, he belonged to like my ancestral, my grandfather and all. So we all belong to a village in Haryana, and I was the youngest one in the entire family, being a girl. All my other siblings, the cousin siblings, everyone was a boy. And the girls who were there, they were so elder to me that they all got married by the time I could reach 5 to 6 years of age. So I have basically grown up amongst boys. So I had a very tomboy kind of personality, and because of that reason mainly. And there were many people in my family who were great influencers as far as on my life is concerned. They would take a lot of decisions for me,
right,
which I did not like at the time at all, because they never allowed me to be, the feminine side of me to come out. They always would, force me to cut my hair short like boys. They would never ever see me with nail polish or wearing, these anklets. Nothing was allowed. So I never sort of liked all this. This was a kind of forcement I would see. And my parents are also the youngest in their own family and among the siblings. So they also couldn't do much about it. And they were okay with all this. However, I was not okay.
Yes,
so I've grown up with that kind of background, Gaurav.
So, ma'am, was this because of too many restrictions that somehow that rebellion nature grew, and you wanted to get into defense forces, or was there any other reason?
So Gaurav, I would, I think, highly agree with you that the rebellion nature of succeeding came out from that only. This is what I want to tell through my TEDx also, that you must have such negative people around you. People say, often we talk about that remove toxic people from your group. However, I would say one or two, it is very important for, you to have such kind of people, especially from the family side, because otherwise you can't throw them out of your circle, and they are going to be there talking always negative, and you just train your mind in such a way that you make good use of such negative people, which I did.
Yes, ma'am. So that one day when you make it big, you can actually go back to them and tell them, see, you were telling me I cannot do it, and I've actually done it.
Yeah, I think once you make it big, you don't need to tell only. Like I had those people in my passing out parade from the Air Force. So that was a good answer for that.
Yes, ma'am. So, ma'am, then how did the interest grew to get into defense forces? Because as I understand, your father was also in the army. So was it because of that, or you had started developing your own interest?
So, Gaurav, it is a very interesting story. My father never ever wanted me to join the forces, and neither did my mom. So in fact, 1 month back, I had met one of the journals. He's still serving in the army. He's picked up the second highest rank in the army. So he used to be with us in the early unit with my father, and he's like a fatherly figure to me. So he called us for dinner, and he was telling me that, this was the time when he unfolded those secrets. And he was telling me that how my father would go up to him and tell him that I want to stop her from going to the army, and she's so passionate. I don't want her to join the forces and all that. He told me now. Though earlier also I knew that he never wanted me to join. Why? Because citing as parents, I think, because he has lived his life and he knew that the life is not going to be very easy. And, we have long way to go still, when all the parents come to the same conclusion that, we must give wings to our children, whatever they want to do in life. So I think we have long way to go for that. So they also had the same mindset that it will be difficult, especially after the marriage. Like, they are more worried about the marriage thing, that once it happens, so how would you stay with your family? How will you have children? So these all, and that time, like 13 years back. And then, my father, when he had joined army, that time the lady officers were again very, very less. So that mindset kind of had set in his mind that the life is going to be tough, so let's not allow her. However, I was very desperate and I knew that this is something, the only thing which I wanted to do.
So, ma'am, going to SSB, for example, even SSB is considered one of the most unique and toughest tests to actually
Yeah.
crack, because
Yes.
sometimes you'll not even know that you have cracked it. So how was
Yes.
your, because you have cleared it in your first attempt only, how was your SSB experience, and what was the reaction of your parents and your relatives when you told them that you have been recommended by Indian Air Force?
So I would tell Gaurav that my father, then of course I cleared my written exam of first cat, and I told him when I got the letter for my SSB that please let me go, let me go. As such, you say that it is very difficult, so it might happen that I won't clear it, but let me go. So he said, okay, we'll allow you to go. It's okay. And I went and I cleared it. And then, while I came back, he came with a flower bouquet at the railway station to welcome me. So that was one of the most amazing part about this story. And all other people, like everybody in my family, got so inspired, Gaurav. Like the girls which I was telling you, that they all were married by the time I was 5-6 years. So by then, they already had their own children, like my nephew and niece. So they all got very inspired, and those girls, who are married to village and remote areas, they got inspired that if our sister has done something, we must allow our children now to do something in their life. And I'm happy to say that all those children are doing great in their life now.
Right, ma'am. And when this only happened because you took the initiative, and once they saw, okay, she has done it and she comes from within us only, so we can also do it. So it does give a
Absolutely, Gaurav. This is like, I can't tell you, it's not about that I'm boasting about myself. I'm just telling in general that if somebody does something like this, how can you indirectly impact so many lives?
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, it's too difficult to crack it in your first go. Even if you get recommended, people get medically out. Even if you get medically out, they get merit out. Even if you get merit in, then even training is not completed by 100% of the candidates. So it is indeed
Gaurav. So I think for medicals, I would highly thank my mom. I would take this opportunity to thank her on this platform. She never allowed us for junk food and everything. So Gaurav, I'm excited to tell you that out of 21 girls who were recommended, I was the only one who cleared the medicals without any temporary rejection.
Okay.
And in fact, the doctors were amazed to see my hemoglobin level. It was 15 at the time. So they had only seen such levels in boys. So they said, what do you eat? So, that was my journey. Like, I cleared everything in the first attempt.
Yes, ma'am. That is indeed an incredible achievement. But ma'am, your main target was army. And when I was reading about you, we got to know that you had your exams scheduled and the SSB was also scheduled. So tell us about that incident of how you actually were destined to become Air Force officer.
I think this I would surely call destiny, Gaurav. My father was once posted to a unit which was alongside with the Air Force unit. So we had our neighbors as Air Force officers. And I never liked the uniform. I would tell my brother that, see, my dream is to join the army. It's good that I dream only for army. I just don't like this blue uniform, their cap and everything. And he said, yeah, even I don't like it. and it so happened that, the ad for Air Force, the FCAT exam came. And I thought, see, defense forces, the military in itself is a combined defense forces. So I shall not segregate my my dream into, whether I should be joining Indian Air Force or the army. Just because I've lived up in the army, so I had a separate flair for that, right? So, and I really wanted to wear my father's cap, you call it beret, and wanted to join the signals corps. So then this ad came. I applied for my AFCAT, and army doesn't have the written examination.
Yes, ma'am.
So for engineers and all, it was not required. So I did my AFCAT and all that, and side by side, I applied when I got eligible. I applied for the Army SSB also, where my heart was pumping that this is something which I want to do. So
Yeah.
I cleared my FCAT first. Then the SSB also was scheduled first. So I cleared that SSB and I was on cloud nine that I've cracked SSB. Now I still wanted to join the army even till that time. So the call-up letter came for the Army SSB and it was scheduled. I remember the date on 19th of May 2009,
Yes, ma'am.
and that was my last exam of the 8th semester.
Okay.
So you have to make a choice, because if I do not give that exam, then both the chances are gone. Neither Air Force nor Army. If
Right,
you do
ma'am.
not clear your engineering, right? So I sent an application to reschedule it. I got to know that we can reschedule it. So it had come for Bhopal SSB. So I rescheduled it, and I finished my engineering around 20th of June,
Yes, ma'am.
and 13th July was my joining for Air Force Academy, and the date which was given for SSB of Army was 21st of July. 7 days after I joined
Air
AFA.
Force.
In those 7 days, I think I had made up my mind that this is something which I really want to do, and now let it be. I think this is what my destiny is calling for.
Yes, ma'am. So you were destined to be an Air Force officer. So, ma'am, now
Yes.
once you are in the Air Force Academy, tell us how is that experience, and how was the experience when you received your uniform for the first time? Because that is an experience that a lot of candidates want to have. It literally gives you goosebumps of wearing that uniform. Walk
Yes.
us through that experience.
I can't tell you, Gaurav, I get very emotional with that. Initially, we are supposed to wear the white uniform and like white shirt and white trousers and black shoes. And we are eagerly waiting for our blue uniform. Blue uniform, that is all everybody's mind. And we are given a lot of ragda, we are given a lot of toughening exercises, before you get that uniform. So basically, it is said that it is not uniform. We are not giving you this uniform. You have to earn this uniform.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
you have to be so toughened in terms of, not only in terms of physical toughness, in terms of mental toughness also.
Right.
So that is why it is given little, after a few days, when you have understood that what is going to happen with you, are you able to handle such kind of stress and the environment, and after a lot of this thing, then of course in the meantime it takes a lot of time to get it stitched also. When
Right.
you join the academy and everything, then you give your measurements. So after quite some time it is given to you, or you earn your uniform. And that day is like, just give me another day, so that like the morning of the another day, so that we can just wear it and flaunt ourselves, like look, just keep looking into the mirror, and it's a very joyful moment of life.
Yes, ma'am. During your training, like how is the training? Were there any days where you felt it's too much, it's too tough, and I may not be able to do it? Were there days like these?
So Gaurav, I've been a national level cricket player. So, those toughening exercises and everything was not very difficult for me as
Okay.
such. Only thing was, of course, the timing, like you are at home. So, though I was never a person who would get up very late or who would laze around much. I'm not a lazy person at all.
Yes, ma'am.
So, those all things were okay. However, yes, continuously doing the same things every day sometimes gives you a thought that what is it? When are we going to stop it? When are these 6 months getting to go over? Though, being a technical officer, the training goes for another 2 years.
Yes, ma'am.
And after we reach from Air Force Academy, when we reach the Air Force Technical College, it is much tougher.
Okay.
Right? So, yes, of course, everybody, we are humans, and there is a tendency to fall back. So yes, I had my tough days also, but more or so I was so bloody excited for all this that it went very well.
Yeah, ma'am, because they are always giving you the feeling that you have earned it, and not
Yes.
many people have actually reached here. So yeah,
Yes,
that's always worth it. So, ma'am, another important day in a cadet's life when you're going through the training is the passing out parade. So tell us about that period when finally you are from a trainee, you become a flying officer. How was that feeling?
Yeah. So Gaurav, the first thing which I remember and the most, rememberable moment was when you get ready in the best of the uniform. On that day you wear many things on your uniform, like the neck scarf, and there's a separate belt, and then there's another scarf which is around your waist. They look very, very well done up as compared to the normal uniform on the other days. You wear your pea cap. So we are ready, and in the morning, after getting ready, we have to go to get our practice rifles
Yes.
from the armory. And that is the time also when you are also trying to set up the things with your parents, because your parents are allowed to enter the premises that time.
Yes, ma'am.
So I got ready and I was outside the armory, and I was waiting for my parents also to come, and so that I can little bit guide them and everything. And I wanted them to see me in that uniform. And I clearly remember the first time on the gate when my mom saw me, and she was in tears. She was totally crying, and she could not believe that this has happened. And that was the most pious thing for me.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, of course, the POP happened. Everybody is so excited, and we are excited to pass those, the gates from which we pass out, and we literally become officers, and we are given a salute.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, because for parents, you're still a child, so that is always a special feeling than
Yes.
making your parents proud. And ma'am, so you not only, and you got another opportunity of actually of doing passing out parade, not the passing out parade, of taking part in the parade on the 26th of January. So tell us about that experience and how the selection process happens.
Yeah, Gaurav. So I have done the Republic Day parade on 26 January 2015, and that was the same day when I also got my commendation from the Chief of Air Force for devotion to duty.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So that was again a very important day for me in my life.
Yes.
So one day, Gaurav, 2-3 years back, maybe I was on leave in Delhi, and I was passing through this India Gate, right?
Yes.
And I just had a thought. A thought crossed my mind that if now I'm in uniform, I must do Republic Day parade and walk on this Rajpath. I want to have that feeling. So this thought just came across my mind, and I started, when I went back to unit, I started asking about it, that how do you get selected and all that. Of course, the contingent is of airmen, right?
Yes.
There are few officers, like 4 officers who are selected from the entire Air Force to command it. So getting there already, and especially, it is such a big day that people would love to select people who are already have the experience of doing it.
Right.
So if I have done it this year, there are high chances that I will do it next year also, if I do not have any other commitment or any other medical reason.
Right.
Right. So I got to know that the chances are very bleak. So I thought, okay, but this is something I would really want to do. And the magic happens. You throw your wish to the universe, and the universe conspires.
Yes,
and we got the message that Mr. Modi, our Prime Minister, is preparing for a all-woman contingent.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, this is only for me. This is meant for me. And Gaurav, let me tell you that I was going through some medical problems during that time.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yet, everybody in my unit, everybody said, you are already going through this problem. How will you do it? I said, nothing doing, sir. This is one-time, lifetime opportunity,
Yes,
and I'm going to make it. I'll take care of my body. And I was the only one, Gaurav, who was so disciplined in 2.5 months of such tough training, I tell you.
Yes,
Delhi winters, then the bus would arrive at 2:30 a.m. in the night. Okay, we have to get up at 12 or 12:30. The entire biological cycle we had to change. We will sleep at 5 o'clock in the evening, and we'll get up. So in those 2.5 months, I was the only one, I think, who would not have reported sick. I did not have fever. I did not report sick for anything. I did not take even a day's rest. I was just taking good care of myself as I had medical issues. I would come back from the training. I would dip my legs into the hot water bucket with a lot of salt in it. And that was the time I would utilize to speak to my family so that I don't waste another time. And immediately after that, I would doze off to sleep. So that schedule I was maintaining for myself. And then the selection day came. It was around 22nd of January. Like on 23rd, you have full dress rehearsal.
Yes, ma'am.
So we were to be selected, and that was very tough. We were 20. I think we were around 250 women officers, and everybody had practiced so much for these 2.5 months. So everyone wanted to do it, but only 144 could be selected. So in a batch of 10, officers were asked to march, and we would march from this side to this side, approximately 50 meters distance. So they would select one officer out of those 10. Then we would march from this side to this side. Then, another officer is selected. And now, Gaurav, when you are getting selected, you are giving your 100%.
Exactly.
Like, raising your leg to a certain level, taking your hands to a certain level, making sure that your angle of your hands and your legs and whatever has been told is like that. It takes the entire energy of yours. And I was not selected in the first, in the second, and this is the last time when we were moving from this place to this place.
Right.
And my heart was pumping with fear. What if I did not get selected? Because it's been 2.5 months and this has been my dream.
Exactly.
And I thought to myself, no problem, I'll make it. I was breathless. I was not able to pull it, yet I gathered all my energy and I pulled it. And the last officer was my name, and I was so happy, jumping with happiness that all my, the energy which had gone came back. And, I was on cloud 9.
And ma'am, on that day, on 26th January, when you were passing like the president and you salute him, how was that feeling?
Oh, that was so amazing. I can tell you, like, I had not thought that this is, now I imagine these players when they play in the field, in the stadium, the cricket players and everybody else. What is that feeling? The moment you are lined up, that you, after the tableau, it is your contingent which is going to go. And like there's a point wherein you are intersecting with the people who are sitting right there.
Yes, ma'am.
In the moment you just cross that line, these people are standing and clapping and howling, and they're like, Bharat Mata ki Jai. And I was like, oh my God. And then Gaurav, if you're giving 100% of energy, usually I say there's nothing beyond 100. But I would say that on that day you get 500.
Yes, ma'am.
Like, it is beyond words. It is so amazing, so amazing.
Yes, ma'am. Some things which cannot be put in words. Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, it is really, really very difficult for me to put, make people understand this.
It must have been like living your dream while you're actually doing it, when you're passing through
Yes.
that.
Yes. Right from the day when I, put a thought to the universe that this is something which I really want to do.
Yes, ma'am. All right. Now, ma'am, coming to my next question. So, ma'am, tell us about, now you have been into the Air Force, you are used to it. How was your first posting experience?
That was very tough, Gaurav. So, we were in Tetra, that is a technical school. So after we leave the Air Force Technical College, we are given with a separate system. So somebody goes to Mirage, somebody goes to the mechanical officers mostly, they go to the aircraft. And then people like me who are from the computers background, we go to computer systems. So I was given with one of the systems. And the system, then you are of course posted as per your system availability in the stations. So, we were asked that what kind of posting do you want? So I said the remotest of the place I want. I don't want to be in the city. Okay. So that wish was fulfilled and I was given the posting to Shillong.
Yes.
And now Shillong, though, is the Scotland of peace. It is one of the most beautiful places anybody can live or get a chance to live at. Yet, of course, it is far off from, not from only from, cities. You have to travel all with the way down to Guwahati to catch a flight or anything to travel to north. And then we were posted at Lightcore Peak. That is another some kilometers above the Shillong city. And traveling up and down was again a task. We would always, mostly we would be at our peak only. So this being the first posting Gaurav, initially when I went, I was the only technical lady officer.
Yes,
So but yeah, I had very good seniors. Like, this is the best part of the military services, that it gives you a family. It is
Right.
not the peer group. It is not your friend. They become your family. So my boss was very tough. He would not give me any break. I would have ulcers in my stomach because I would not have lunch in time. My schedule had gone a haywire. A morning 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock in the night, I would be at the radar. Even if it's my system or somebody else's system, I would be sitting and learning about it and reading and giving the feedbacks and ensuring the systems are working fine and learning and learning. And thanks to all that toughness, Gaurav, after I think maybe just 2 years after that posting, I stood first in the order of merit for 2 radar courses.
Yes,
Just because I was toughened enough to work forcefully on that system, because that was not my system. My system was related to computers.
Exactly.
But because I was the youngest one, the only lady technical officer there, my boss was tough. He would always tell me, no, I won't let you waste time. Go and sit on the radar. Go and sit on the radar. Try and learn this. Try and learn this. And I would do it. And because of that, I could do this later on. So while you are getting toughened in life, do not think that, oh my God, the times are difficult. Oh my God, how will I sail through? Always remember through the experience of others that the outcome is going to be very amazing, and you won't know now. You will know maybe 10 years, 15 years, down the line,
Yes, ma'am.
that was meant for something good.
Yes, ma'am. That tough experience actually prepares you for life ahead.
Yes. But people do not understand, and they take it as a trauma, and then they stop working.
Yes, ma'am. And ma'am, there is a question related to this only. So ma'am, you were the first lady technical officer for mobile radar. And when you
Yeah.
got posted to the location, they had actually made the arrangements for a male officer. Since you were the first officer, so they did not expect that a lady would come. Talk us about that experience.
Yeah. So Gaurav, what happens is, when we are, whenever there is any post which is to be done by some officers, there is a requirement felt by the Air Force that, some vacancies are to be filled up. So they send a signal to the units which would have the officers who can be trained on radar. So a signal is only sent to provide an officer.
Yes.
Right. In my unit at that time, we were only 2 officers. One was my chief technical officer and Tel. So we were only 2 there. And he said, he was a family person. That time I was just married. I did not have kids and all. So, and he was a family man. And, in forces, there is a system for every damn thing.
Right.
So the married officers, they go on leave when their children have their summer vacation or winter vacation.
Right.
So they have that right, and everybody gives that right to them, because the entire other year they are available at the unit. So he had his planned leave, which of course he should have gone, because the course was long. And had he opted for the course, everything the plan would have gone haywire, and I would have I was too junior to be left alone also. That was also a point. So he said, Dipti, you go for the course. I said, okay, no problem, I'll go for the course. And so my name is usually written as D Kala. So nobody understands whether it's Deepak or Dipti.
Yes.
So my name went, and then I when I reported there for the course, I was told that your room has been arranged with officer so and so. I said, what? I said, how can you arrange my room with a male officer? He said, ma'am, we didn't know because there's no lady officer got trained ever in this radar and all that. I said, okay. Then, of course, a separate room was arranged for me. And that was the course Gaurav I was talking just before, that I stood first in the order of merit. We were all others were male officers. I was the only lady officer. And that was the time I also utilized that, if I can do just better, I've worked so hard in this system, then why not to display it in terms of academics also. So I put in a lot of hard work, and that's how we got that result.
So in this relation only, I'll have my next question. Since they assumed that it would be a male officer only, so how is life for a female officer, as in for the people like who are working under you, for the airmen? Do they have any apprehensions while taking orders as compared to a male officer? So how is that part?
So Gaurav, I've been there for 10 years. So I would really say that it all depends upon person to person. It is not about a male officer or a lady officer. It is about me as a person or that person as a person. How do they handle their team?
Right.
Okay, if you are able to handle your team the way you are supposed to do as an officer, they do not. I never found any apprehensions as such. Even if somebody had, there are people like senior warrant officers are there. So, we are, if you compare the age thing, we are like their children.
Yes.
Right? So, you have to give that due respect in some way, that they feel respected and they feel that, we understand, we have that maturity.
Exactly.
And we respect not only their age, their experience, we also we also learn so much from them.
Yes.
Right? They've grown in the service over the years. And I think if you balance that thing with your maturity of how do you handle difficult situations wherein you really need to, put your message across to that person, but he's still not listening, then there are ways to it.
Exactly.
Right? So when you do that, people, I have found that people would gain respect on you or trust on you over a period of time. So that happens. The results can be seen. And in those 10 years, I never found, or I personally did not have any issues with anyone. In fact, in my first posting, when I got posted out, 3 to 4 people came up to me and told me this is the saddest news of the day they've got to know, and they just do not want me to leave the posting. And they said, ma'am, it was such a privilege to have worked with you. I don't think I will ever find a person like you. And so that is something which you earn.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So I had a good time.
Yes, ma'am. Being in a powerful position is one aspect of leadership, and understanding the human aspect, the seniority of service, and respecting.
That is a major part of being a leader.
Yes, ma'am. Exactly. So, ma'am, while you were, let's say, being in the Indian Airforce, it's been more than, let's say, 8+ years. That was the time you were also contemplating options of getting into consulting, getting into being not dream coach wasn't the exact word in your head, but teaching, guiding, that was something which was like coming up. So tell us, how did you realize, maybe after Air Force, this is something I can take up? And when did you take the decision to actually say, okay, I'm going to hang my boots now?
Okay. So, Gaurav, when as I said that, being a technical officer, you do a lot of courses in the Forge. Lot of courses. Every year, 2 to 3 courses. So I had a flair of teaching others since childhood. I was teaching the underprivileged in the class of 10th.
Right.
So I had a flair for teaching. Now I realized that whenever I'm in the unit, I was making sure that my junior officers who are under me, and of course the airmen, they are all into learning. And I would tell my juniors that you just study, you just do the hands on the system, I will do rest of the work. You don't worry about that. I want you to be so confident on your system that nobody can beat you.
Right.
So I realized that this is my next calling, because see, the permanent commission wasn't there. By the time I was leaving, they had given us the option of PC with the option of 10%, of the whole cadre will be given a permanent commission. That would be decided by your annual report.
Right.
So I didn't want to be a rabbit, running behind the carrot. So I said, if I have to leave 4 years down the line, let me leave now itself. At least in those 4 years, I'll have a career of my own.
Right.
So I was very clear that teaching, coaching, consulting is something which is my next calling, and I must pursue it. And that's how I stumbled upon becoming a coach now.
Right. You are the first of many titles. You got SSB in your first attempt, then first technical officer, and you are also India's first dream coach. So tell us what exactly is a dream coach?
Yeah. So Gaurav, I first initially got certified as a soft skill trainer and an image consultant.
Right.
And I was looking forward to start my journey with that. However, I could not. Because see, it is not that every time you've been succeeding, so you will succeed at everything. So I had my own set of limiting beliefs when I left Forge, because I was so trained in everything related to Forge and coming to a civil world first time. Like my father was also in the army and then fell. Now that was the first time in my life, I was going to step out of that cantonment, that leaving the officers behind, the Forgy thing behind. So I had developed my limiting beliefs that I can't do it. I do not have any contacts in the corporate world. Who would call me? Why would they take training for me? Why would they pay me? There are so many experts available, and everything of such sort came to my mind. And I took my certifications. I performed well. However, I picked up a job.
Right.
I picked up a job out of fear that I can't do it. I don't think I'll be able to do it. And then after 6 months down the line, I again had thought that this is not something, the job is not something I'm enjoying. And then COVID time came. So we had a lot of courses all around floating on the Facebook and everywhere. Then, I did some other few courses wherein I wanted to understand this industry more.
Right.
So that's how I started to learn more about the industry. And then, of course, I invested heavily in myself, education. I hired mentors. I learned from them. So this all happened, and now recently, I started and I'm helping coaches. So how come the dream coaching came into being is that in coaching it is said that you can only solve the problem for others which you have solved for others. That is the best thing you can do.
Right.
Okay, so the problem which I have solved for myself, as I've told you or given you so many examples, was that whatever I wanted to achieve, I have achieved it.
Right.
Like I was very poor in academics. Later on, I happened to be the best. And in Forge, I took 2 trophies for best in the order of merit. Then I wanted to join the forces, I joined it. I wanted to do the Republic Parade, I did it. I wanted to have a commendation, so I got it. So everything, one by one happened. I'm also ex-Mrs. India. I wanted to be on the ramp, so I did it. So this all happened. So I decided that what is it that I can help others is, to get to their goals.
Right.
So dream was something, goal is a small step which you take towards your dream, a bigger dream. Dream is a holistic picture of the life which you look forward to have for yourself. My dream is to be a philanthropist, helping so many people, having a good luxury lifestyle for me and my family. That is my holistic dream. Right. Now, what are my goals? My goals are, like the first goal, what is the first thing which I can achieve in this dream? The first thing is to have a freedom of time and money.
Exactly.
Right? So I would work towards that. Right? So then I thought that, how do I certify myself that I am a dream coach?
Exactly.
So that is how I stumbled upon this Dream University, which is by Marsha Wieder. She is America's #1 dream coach, and she has also coached 2 US presidents.
Okay.
So yeah. So I took training from her. I got certified, and then in dream coaching, then I have niched down now to helping coaches. Like the 2.2 to 3 years of my journey, wherein I was fixing my limiting beliefs to start as a coach. Now I'm helping coaches to get out of their comfort zone, understand the industry, understand the framework, that how can you actually become a good coach and help others. and come out of all these limiting beliefs wherein you just don't ask for payment or you don't go out and ask for people for work. So you come out of all this and at least earn your dream amount which you really want to look forward to earn monthly.
Exactly.
Right?
One,
So that is it.
Yeah. One thing I'll say, it's really difficult to do something for, let's say, 10 to 12 years and then, start from literally from scratch, where you do not know anything, work hard towards it, and then build yourself in it. So, congratulations for you to that. Ma'am, one more thing, as you recently mentioned in the beginning of the talk, your TEDx talk is also going to come. So again, congratulations for that. And I'll mention one more incident. So my father watches TV9 Bharat a lot. Okay.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And ma'am, one day I think you had shared a post on LinkedIn where you were in blue blazer and the anchor in red, and people were thinking that you have also like started anchoring or joined the channel. So, ma'am, how did you get into this of becoming an expert on multiple TV channels?
Yeah. So, Gaurav, I think this was a destiny, Gaurav, I would call it. I had, somewhere the thought was there. How? The thought was like this, that, in my entire family, nobody had ever come on TV. And TV in India is a big thing, for at least middle class people, it is a very big thing.
Exactly.
So, my mother would think, she would watch these reality shows and all, and, she would say, I don't know how come people come on TV, somebody should do this, somebody should do this. And I never gave it a serious thought. So I don't know. One day I got a call directly from Republic Bharat and to be with Arnab Goswami.
Yes.
And I was like, this I shared in the TEDx also. I was like, why are you calling me? Why the hell are you calling me? I'm not an expert. Why are you? Like, I had my limiting beliefs that I'm no good to come on TV and all that. I thought that maybe you need some certifications or something to be there. So he said, no, ma'am. He convinced me that it is not something of this sort. The Supreme Court recently has given one judgment regarding giving the permanent commission to women officers in the Indian Army. So what are your thoughts on it? We just want to know that. So initially he said, ma'am, can you come to the studio? The studio is in Noida.
Right.
And that time I was in Gurgaon. I said, I asked my husband, he said, okay, go. Then, it was getting so late. That time when he called, I was at office. So I said, then I again denied. No, I can't come. It will be too late and let's call it a quit.
Yes.
I don't know. He was so sure about me. He said, no, ma'am, no, not to worry. I will send the cameraman to your place. I said, what? He said, yes, I will send. So 8 o'clock, the cameraman with all the big camera and everything comes down. I get ready. And then, I had spread the message across to my family that watch me on TV and this is the time. And that's how, after this, so it was a no looking back. It continued. Like that month itself, I did a Woman in Command with Vayon TV.
Yes,
ma'am. Then, Aaj Tak and everything, this continued. And now I've been very active with TV9 recently due to Ukraine-Russia war.
Yes, ma'am. I must say you have brought a lot of moments to cheer for yourself and your family.
Yeah, thank you, Gaurav.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, now going to the opinion section a bit. So, ma'am, as we have seen in the recent past, government has also made sure that women also get into permanent commissions, and recently even the NDA entries have started. So, how do you see this change? Where we are, encouraging more and more girls to actually come up and join the forces. How will this change the face of our defense forces?
So, first of all, I'm very happy about the NDA decision. And though there are only 19 vacancies which have been made open for the lady cadets, but at least it is a start. Yes. I think 1 to 2 weeks before, another channel was interviewing me for the same decision that, that girl has stopped the NDA test and all that, right? Yeah. So, the phase in, Gaurav, I think females are we organize so many things, being at home, like we come what may, we have to look after our children, we have to manage the kitchen, we have to do all this. This is a societal setup which is there.
Right.
Of course, things are changing, but very little. If you compare as per masses, it is 0.00%.
Right.
Right? If you go to, like, you just move out of the city and everything changes. The setup is same, the mentality is still the same. So we can't generalize this thing. We are still, at the very back of it. So if government has taken such bold decisions, we must welcome these decisions with open hand,
Right.
rather than commenting or negating the things that why. Of course, the permanent commission is a thing which I would really talk about. Is it is not, the opportunities are still not equal for both of the genders. In Air Force, it is just 10% of the total strength. So in 10%, it is irrespective of male or female, whosoever is short service commission, only 10% of you will be getting the permanent commission. So it is inequality, right? When it comes to army officers, now army has started giving permanent commission. That is a good thing. Navy is not giving at all.
Yes, ma'am.
For us, at least it is 10%. For Navy, it is not there. So inequality is there, which will again take some years, for it to happen or get accepted. So women in the defense forces are playing a very, very amazing role, Gaurav. We are much more disciplined also, if you say so. And there are officers I've seen who would, boldly they would say, senior officers, that I really want only lady officers in my team, because we just do what is being told to us, and we do it very sincerely.
Right, ma'am.
Right. So as fathers also say कि मुझे बेटियां ज्यादा अच्छी लगती हैं, because at least वो सारी बातें मानती हैं. So it is like that. So
Yes.
it will change a lot of things in the forces when the equality thing will come. So I'm sure things will change for the better.
Right, ma'am. And ma'am, since you talk about, managing multiple things that a woman has to do, how difficult, because I know it was difficult only for you to manage first being in defense forces where you have a very tight schedule, and then coming into the corporate world where you're, giving interviews, TED Talks, TV debates, and then to also manage your family, simultaneously.
Gaurav, it's very tough. I must accept and convey to everybody who is there that yes, it is very, very tough. I'm not comparing it with men at all.
Yes.
As a woman, I'm saying it for myself, for all the other women. I had my first child delivery in the uniform, Gaurav. It was an emergency delivery. I was in the office and the water bag broke. And when, the emergency delivery happened, so the other lady officers who were to deliver after me, they said they went to the doctor for normal checkup, and the doctor sent them, all of them, on leave. Why? Because I had not taken a single day leave in the entire 8 months of pregnancy.
Okay.
Yeah, so she said, see, look at Deepti, she's had this emergency delivery. Just because she's not taken rest, all of you take rest, all of you take chutti and, lie down on the bed. So I will tell you, it's very, very difficult. But yes, somehow, if the fire of your dreams is burning within you, you gather the energy, light the flame, and keep on traveling. Take support from maybe the house help or the family, whatever could be available. Ask for help is a major thing, Gaurav. Ask for help. You have to ask. People are not there sitting in front of you to tell you that go and take rest. No, it will not happen. You have to do it for yourself.
Exactly. And ma'am, if you never ask, the answer is always no, as this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I'm coming to a last set of questions. So what is one piece of advice that you have received which you till now apply in your life?
So Gaurav, I'm a hardcore learner.
Yes, ma'am.
So I learn. Even if from today's interview, I've been hearing out your comments. So
Yeah.
I would take something from you and keep it in my mind and learn it.
Right.
So that is how I improve myself. If somebody is telling something, I take that positive thing which I can apply in my life and move ahead. So there are many learnings. However, best and the best is my favorite is work hard, party harder. That life is too boring to be too serious about it.
Yes, ma'am.
So have your principles in place. If you are married, go out on date with your husband and wife. On a specific schedule. Have a schedule for everything. Go out for movies with your friends and family and with your children. Go out on a solo trip. Do everything and work so bloody hard that you don't have to think about doing all these things.
Yes, ma'am.
And patience and the right strategy gives you answers, gives you results. It just cannot happen that we will not get results.
And ma'am, as you said, work hard, party harder, and touch the sky with glory.
Yes,
All right.
absolutely. Never Sparsham Deeptam.
Deepti.
So Deeptam is Deepti. And right, so almost as the sky with glory.
Yes, ma'am. All right, ma'am. Coming to the last three questions on the lighter side of things now. So
Yeah.
you are too much. Throughout the interview, I've seen you have worked a lot in your life right now. Even if your day would be too busy, because even when I was asking you for the schedule, you said that time is for children. So can we do it from
Yes.
3 to 4? So when
Yeah.
you are not working, when you have to relax, how do you do it?
So Gaurav, one thing is there that I've totally cut off myself from entertainment.
Yes.
Okay, just because I have set some goals for myself. So once I achieve those goals, I will maybe I'll restart it. However, as far as current situation is concerned, it's been 3 years now. I have totally cut off myself with any Netflix or Prime Video or anything. So I don't watch. So when I'm relaxing now, the baby itself is such a stress buster. She's just
Yes.
10 months. So I play with her and I put her to sleep. I feed her and I read books.
Yes, ma'am.
I have my own mini library. Like my husband tells me that you can open a library with your books. You are buying so much and reading so much. I've fallen in love with books. So I read a lot. So that is my best time. I'm not a person, Gaurav, who is not sleeping. I would not lie down on the bed. I just don't laze around. That is a problem you can say with me. I don't laze around much.
And ma'am,
So
this is something which was before joining the forces also, right?
yes. That has been my nature.
So ma'am, that's really wonderful to hear. So ma'am, right now, like you're working on something, but what is like your next goal that you see it like related to whether it's going a notch higher when it comes to being a dream coach or any other personal or professional ambition you have?
Yeah. So personal ambitions, Gaurav, are like that only, that I specify some time for me and my family to go out and enjoy. So that has been hanging. Of course, it was COVID times also for the 2.5 years now. But that is as far as the personal goal is concerned.
Yes, ma'am.
And as far as professional goal is concerned, I really want to reach $60K by end of 2022 and helping 50 plus coaches by then to earn their dream money and live a satisfied, fully happy life.
Yes, ma'am. And when my last question, and this is my favorite question, and I think this is most applicable to you. So tomorrow, like Arnav Goswami had sent you the cameraman. If a director comes to your home and says, ma'am, we want to make a movie on your life. So what title would you give it?
So I think I would give it title of Dream only.
Yes, ma'am.
Dream big. Something related to this. Because Gaurav, unless you have dreams,
Yes.
And unless you have passion for dreams, people mostly confuse dreams with fantasy also.
Right.
Okay, so like I sit down here and fantasize about Lamborghini or fantasize about having, a billion-dollar company. If you've not set your, somewhere my mind doesn't believe it. If my mind doesn't believe it that I can achieve it, it is a fantasy.
Right.
Okay, and if you have such some, good goals which your mind can believe it, and you are taking actions towards them, then that is your dream. So if you really set out to achieve those dreams, you can achieve all those dreams. Like, I can never ever say that this is something I really want to achieve in life, because every now and then I get a new dream and I really want to achieve it and I achieve it.
Exactly.
So I just love exploring life. I love making best use of my human potential which God has gifted us. I love learning and growing. So
Yes.
I wish you had given this question to me before. I would have, given you a good title. However, I think something related to dream is something I would really want to.
Ma'am, I'm sure
Go ahead.
when a movie is made on this, it would definitely be a hit. Because
Yeah.
yes, indeed, the life you had actually inspires a lot of people. Because for many, it's a dream to join Indian Air Force. But what after? Now you've realized that dream.
Yes.
Then you
Yes.
dream of doing that parade on 26th. Then you become a dream coach, and then still you are trying to achieve something in life. So that is something
Yeah.
which is really wonderful.
And
And ma'am, I
Gaurav,
really yes, ma'am, go ahead.
I just want to tell that, I'm also a person who was physically harassed.
Good.
So that was it. I see a lot of girls who have, such traumas, who go through all this phase. This is a very bad and tough phase. So I was very small that time. But later on, I was answering this question to myself when I saw many other women facing this and, having a lot of limiting beliefs and traumas because they have also had faced such physical abuse. So I was asking myself that how come I do not have any such trauma?
Yes.
Why am I not feeling bad about it? How come I am so always inspired and, achieving everything?
Yes,
So
ma'am.
the answer which came out to me was that everybody's resilience capability is different,
Yes.
right? And when a tough situation comes, Gaurav, I would urge everybody to pay attention to this. You have to make a decision.
Yes.
There are two ways: whether you sit down with that problem and do nothing about it, or you are in so much of love with your dreams that you leave everything behind and go ahead and achieve that.
Exactly.
So I would say I think I have always been in so much of love with my dreams that come what may, I leave everything behind and move ahead.
Exactly.
It is all a mind game.
Yeah. As you said, it all comes down to mind game and how badly do you want it.
Yes, how badly you want it.
Yes. All right, ma'am. With this, we have come to the end of the interview. And I would say, personally, talking to each and every individual that I talk to, it's always a learning experience. And ma'am, in your case, it was more than that, because there are different phases of life that you have gone through, and you have made sure that in every phase you're trying to excel. You have not just accepted things as they are, but have actually, worked and changed it. And whether in your personal or your professional life, I strongly believe you're definitely touching the sky with glory. And as you said,
Thank you so much, Gaurav. It was so lovely talking to you. And I'm so thankful to you for having me here and giving me this opportunity. And I'm wishing you so much of luck. And I wish that you also achieve all your dreams.
Thank you, ma'am.